So, Jack from Ninebanks, how are you doing? How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing fine. Good, good. All's good.
Good. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. How did you guys meet? Like, how did Ninebanks meet?
So I think the whole thing is we were a bunch of lads who'd all played in bands in Sunderland. Um, like throughout the years, our guitarist Callum, he's been in every band going in Sunderland, so he's a key figure in like the whole Sunderland music scene. I've been in bands with Callum before, and it was more. Callum said he'd retired from music completely, and it was our old drummer who left us a couple of years ago who had the idea. He was like, "Oh, I want to start a pop punk band," and he was like, he went to the one person that he knew would be the pop punk guy, which was Callum,
Yeah.
and Callum was like, he knew he's like, "Well, I know the best vocalist in Sutherland," and he contacted me, and then Louis also Callum's friend. We needed another guitarist, and that's where we went. So that's where we formed, and we were just four lads from Sunderland, and it was really funny because uh, we knew of each other, but we weren't really friends. I was friendly with Callum, and Louis was friendly with Callum, but like we didn't really know each other as a group, and we grew up about 4 miles in the vicinity of 4 miles from each other, which I think's quite crazy to be fair. Like all our houses are really close to each other, but we just didn't
Huh.
go to the same schools, so we didn't cross
Ah,
paths or anything. So it was pretty cool.
nice. So where did the name Ninebanks come from?
So this is quite a funny one because a lot of people ask this because it is quite a strange name. So we were looking at having naming ourselves after a place in the northeast of England, and we came up with a few names.
Callum,
And
you're right.
Sorry, boys.
can
I'm
you
in.
still hear us? Oh, there we go, Callum.
It's just I've got a bit daddy duties on the go. That's all. But I'm here.
It's so good.
Let Jack's the main man anyway, mate. He's the one who writes the songs. He's the singer. He's the voice of reason. I'm just the guitar player, mate.
I'm just
I'm
looking
the
to
I'm like a shelf stacker.
the shelf. He's like the old. He's like, nah, you do the work behind the scenes, man.
I mean, I've heard my name mentioned a few times, considering obviously I knew everyone and kind of got the band together. Like, but apart from that, I just let the wings. So I just literally opened the door, and the rest is history. Like,
Yeah,
That's a pretty big thing, though, putting the band together. I mean,
it is.
oh,
If it
I
wasn't
mean, it
for
took it.
you,
If it went for me, it went the old drummer. Like, yeah, I mean, it took the old drummer messaged me and said, "Do you want to start a band?" I hadn't been in a band for about 3 years, and then I kind of said, "Well, I know this guy because I was in a band with Woodsy, and I kicked him out of band. Funnily enough, uh, so then I was like, I know this guy who can write some really good pop punk songs, and he's a really good pop punk singer and stuff like that. So I was like, we'll get something started. And I was like, I kind of know another guitar player, so we just kind of just got together from there. But it was kind of just started from a message, really. I think it was like late on night at like 10 o'clock. The drummer message, like the old drummer, the original one, just kind of message said, "Do you want to start? Like, I want to write some pop punk." And I was like, "Well, I'm not singing because I used to kind of try and sing." And then I said, "I know like a really talented, like when I first heard Woodsy sing, I was like, this is like he's got the perfect pop punk voice." And I knew he had some really good songs. I was like, "Yeah, we'll get it started and just have a bit of fun." And then obviously we've dropped some songs and stuff like that, and it's kind of like kicked on. So it's good. Like obviously getting interest from yourself, like a pop punk show, and obviously Feather Pop Punks just shows that we're kind of doing the right things and stuff like that. But it really, when we first got together, it was just kind of like let's have a jam and just have a bit of
yeah,
fun in that, you know. And
it
it's
was. It wasn't like we didn't start it to be serious, and then like we started to just write some songs. And then we wrote songs, and we're like, actually, these songs could probably do something a little bit like. And we started getting a lot of hits on Spotify. Like we didn't think we would get that many, even though like some of our numbers aren't great. Like considering if you look at other bands. But like still, we never would think that even one of our songs would get a
definitely
10,000, and we've got three that are on 10,000. So it's like
yeah.
it's
and like
quite it's
right, it's quite obviously the Kerrang stuff as well. I think getting that like into the Kerrang like the deal. I know we didn't actually win the deal and stuff like that, but obviously you're getting people like Kerrang listening to the songs who's probably heard millions of bands, and
Yeah.
they've kind of come in and give us an opportunity. So, like Jack was saying, we must be doing something right to get that kind of opportunity off yourself and Kerrang, So it's just like it's pretty cool considering we're like all in our 30s and stuff like that.
I mean, putting me and Kerrang next to each other is a compliment. So thank you.
You need to start your own TV show then. Kerrang TV's gone, so you can get the
Yeah.
forever pop punk TikTok show.
Yeah, I mean, I do work with BSB TV.
Yeah.
Beers.
Yeah, they gave us a track of the week as well for Interrupted, so that was another cool thing what we got from them. So
yeah, it is kicking on like so. We've got a lot of things, but go back to the naming question.
I was about to say,
yeah.
Sorry,
Callum jumps in. Callum jumps in and speaks for England.
But see, I interrupted, didn't I?
Oh, shut up. Oh, anyway, yeah. So we're looking at names. Originally, one of the names I had was Belmont, and I really like that. That's a place in Durham, and that was one that I was like, oh, that's going to be the name. Belmont sounds like a mint pop punk band name, and it's such a good pop punk band name. There is already a band in America called Belmont, and I was like, oh God, well, that we can't do that then. And then literally just on Google Maps, and there's a place in Northumberland called Ninebanks, and I was like, that's so cool because it's so weird, and like people are like, what's it mean? And it literally it's just really cool. Like it's proper nonsensical, but it's just a small, tiny little village in Northumberland. It's got like a church, and that's it.
So it's not like anything to do with like Ninebanks. With some bands, like we've played with some bands, and they're like, you're gonna need Ninebanks. Like they literally think it's Ninebanks, like, but it's literally nothing to do with Ninebank. But going back to the name, we did actually have matchsticks. We work our matchsticks for like 48 hours before we even dropped anything. But I thought, obviously, Jack was mentioned a few. I think even like Hilton Castletown was one. Hilton Castle, just places we grew up, and he said Ninebanks, and we were like, that's an awesome name because it can. Obviously, like I say, people will put like money in the bank together, like the first logo, but realistically, it is just a place where we've never even visited. I'm sure there's a sign though, which one day we will get to, what says "Welcome to Ninebanks."
We need to do that. We need to do that. Inside, that's like a perfect picture for like the inside cover of an EP or an album. Pretty cool.
Definitely. That would be a class idea if we ever got signed, and we'd be like, we're gonna go on the Ninebanks and get a picture at Ninebanks in Northumberland.
You definitely have to do that, I reckon.
Yeah,
it makes sense. So, what are the band's influences?
I think we've got quite a lot of influences because I think we all come from like different backgrounds, and it kind of shows in the music that we kind of write. I'm very much proper. What I would say is not proper pop punk because everyone's like idea of proper pop punk is different. I would say mine's like, let's say, early 2010s pop punk. So I love like really poppy pop punk. So All Time Low is my favorite band. So I've got like All Time Low. I like Mayday Parade, Forever the Sickest Kids, The Somerset, like really, really poppy bands. And I think like Cal, your influences are like Blink and Green Day and stuff like that, aren't they? Like
Blink, the starting line, Green Day. But I think obviously, like Jack said with his voice, it's pretty like All Time Low, Mayday Parade. But the music, our music behind it's a bit more. Like I'll probably bring the punkier side a bit more with like the Blink and like the starting line and kind of that kind of vibe. So it's kind of good blend where the pop's there and the music's pretty punky. But to be fair, I mean, like obviously, like some of the stuff with Raw, Jack kind of can play the guitar a bit, so he kind of starts it off with like the basic chord idea. Then I kind of just twist it up a bit. Like we've interrupted, the riff was kind of Woodsy who thought of it with the ideas, and then we kind of just like I kind of just get my teeth into it a bit more and just mess about with some stuff. But like the influence, I mean, I love All Time Low and stuff like that, but I think obviously Blink's me biggest, and then Green Day the starting line. But you can kind of tell with the music, and then Obviously, Jack's writing's definitely more like All Time Low, Mayday, Parade, Forever Sick as Kids, and all that kind of vibe.
Yeah,
So we've
proper
still got
neon
that
pop punk, the
blend.
Academy years and all that kind of stuff. That's like my stuff.
I do like me a bit of neon pop punk.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think that's the genre, isn't it? Neon
Yeah,
pop
it
punk.
is. Yeah, neon.
Yeah, that's my stuff. Like
Hey Monday.
oh, yeah, Monday,
the Friday Night Boys, the Friday Night Boys.
Friday Night Boys,
them.
Go Radio, and
Go Radio, yeah,
and
Jason Lancaster.
Yeah,
who used
that
to
was
be in Mayday Parade.
Mayday Parade, yeah. Every Avenue, that was the other one.
Yeah.
Jack's writing's a bit similar. Like, I mean, we do get the nostalgia vibe, but obviously, like with the guitar stuff, I mean, people do still sound like Blink, which I'm happy with, you know. But I think we're always going to get that. I just think it's more of the voice behind the music. What kind of does give us that little bit of edge? Like that's kind of still that nostalgic.
Yeah, you guys have definitely got that nostalgic pop punk vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
I even think our new song, even though it's a bit like I can't wait to release it, I'll not give too much away, but it still sounds nostalgic and maybe not be as much hard hitting. Like obviously, Interrupted's a bit more of a bop, where this song's a bit more like it shows that we've got variety. Because I'd say this would be kind of like our Stay Together for the Kids kind of song, a bit more emotional behind it, but it's still got that pop punk nostalgic vibe, which I think what's good. Like I say, I think when you're starting a band and stuff like that, when people say what you sound like, I think having our genre, knowing what we want to go for, and we still can kind of put our twist on it. But we still sound like the nostalgic 2000. Like we get that a lot.
Yeah,
which is cool.
I think it's a good thing because I think a lot of bands, they try and do that nostalgic pop punk, and they do it, but it sounds very cheap. It's very easy to make that genre sound cheap, whereas I don't feel like we've done that kind of cheapy punk side. It sounds quite well produced and it leans more towards that neon pop punk, but it has influences back into that kind of old school Blink pop punk. Like it's more, I would place it like So Wrong It's Right, probably All Time Low's second album. It's almost like that. So it's got the elements, but then it's starting to just bridge a little bit into that kind of neon, but it's back to the original stuff. But I think as well, like Callum's saying about this new single that we're releasing, it's like with us, it's shown just how versatile we can actually be. And I think there's not a lot of other bands that are putting out things that are very vastly different. And for our fourth release as a song is not it's a bit of a gamble to put something out that's like it's not completely, but it's a very different contrast to what we've previously released. And I think that's just going to help us in the long run, just to say like, oh,
it's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good to have like a range of kind of different styles, like in your style, if that makes sense. So like, especially when you're playing gigs, and like it means that there is going to be kind of some variety, and I think that's obviously really important when you go to a gig and the band's literally just playing the same four chords the whole way through. Like obviously you're going to enjoy it, but like when there is some difference, like it is.
Yeah, I mean, especially us being new, like I say, I mean, if you're like watching like Green Day, Blink, you know, the songs and stuff like that, because they've got albums and albums of songs out where obviously we haven't. So this will be our like pretty much our fifth release. So like, but people who haven't heard of us are gonna listen to songs that we haven't even released. So it is good to have that variety. But like, see, if the four songs we've kind of got out now, it just shows obviously that we can write pop punk. You know, like it's one of them where like you've got like Little Silver, Interrupted, and they're just like straight up pop punks. I think it was a good time to drop this kind of song just to show that we've got some more in the locker kind of vibe.
Looking forward to hearing it.
It'll be out before the gig. It'll be out before the gig, so that's good.
Yeah, well,
as well, which we definitely can't wait for. They hit Manchester up. Obviously a sick lineup as well, so we're actually really buzzing to play Manchester because we've never played there before either. So it's going to be absolutely lethal. No.
Nice. Yeah, it'll be really good. So you are, of course, playing the pop punk birthday palooza, the Forever Pop Punk birthday palooza. So what can we expect from Ninebanks?
Oh, the thing is the thing I think we're known for, especially, is just the high energy of our performance. Like, and we've came to become a really, really good live band, if I don't blow my own trumpet here. But like, we live off that ethos of like, when we go and play shows, we want to give everyone like a reason to remember who we are. And it's a mixture of being really tight and having a good time and giving an energy to the crowd. And I think we do that so well at live shows. I really think we do. And that's our main calling card. It's been, anytime anyone's reviewed our live shows, it's exactly what they've said, is like crowd engagements, sing along choruses, and people just getting into the energy of the show, like singing our songs back to us when we're in a room full of people. We've got songs that are unreleased, and by the second chorus, people are singing our songs back. And I think that's an amazing thing for a small band like us.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've had to pull back some of my ideas because I keep going crazy with what can I do? Because it's my first ever gig, ever putting something on, and I was like,
getting excited.
Oh yeah, I was like giving free donuts to everyone. That was
well, I never heard about this. Like, I'll have some of them.
Well, I don't think it's going to happen. It's only 80 people, 80 tickets. I don't think I can. I don't think I'll be able to afford to get donuts for everyone. And then I was like, I'll get Domino's pizza order in.
Yeah. You're eating into your profits there, like eating your profits.
Oh yeah, 100. Well, to be honest with you, profits aren't really a big thing for me anyway. To be honest, I've just kind of it was Rob from Wednesday at 7 was like, why don't you do a gig? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, why not?
with no thought into it whatsoever. So it's been a learning curve, but.
You've got a good community going and stuff though, so that's all.
Yeah, it's great. It's a lot.
You know what I mean? Fun. Like your TikTok, your Discords and stuff like that. So hopefully it's the first of many for you. To be fair, mate.
I'm hoping so. Just see how this one goes, and then we will see. Like, I have ideas, and I'm hoping for bigger things and like festivals and all sorts. But let's get this gig out the way first.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't go plan the festival when let's not run before
remember us. Remember us if you do.
Oh, 100%.
You'll always remember that first show.
Oh, 100%. Like, so basically, like I asked you guys, and I asked Wednesday at 7, Night in November, and Reds with 7, because basically they're just bands that I was listening to. So I was just like, who would I want to see live? So that's what I did. I literally just was like, I'll ask them and see what happens. And you all said yes, so it was awesome. So what is next for Ninebanks?
As I say, we've got the single coming out. Hopefully first week of August it should be out. We wrapped it up about a week and a half ago, so we've just sat the last week and got all our promo and stuff all sorted.
I wouldn't say hopefully, but I think it's definitely going to be coming out the first week of August. Like, it's there, it's ready to go.
It's ready to go. I'm trying to keep it a bit of a secret.
You're right. We haven't given any dates, so it's fine. You can say the first week of August. You know,
first week of August.
I'm sure you might hear some stuff about it in the upcoming week. Like,
we'll obviously in the coming weeks we're going to drop. We're going to drop obviously drop all the teasers and do all your bog standard single promotion stuff, and we're going to get a music video shot for this one. It'll be our first music video as well, so that's an interesting thing, another thing that we haven't done before.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, so
some fresh shots are coming in tomorrow, so we'll be looking the part. So we're getting it.
So
we're getting it all looking professional, definitely.
So everything's all gung ho this week. So we're throwing everything at this, and it's one where it was a weird one, this release, because the song's called Safety and Skeletons, and if people have seen us live, they'll know the song, and the recorded version is completely different to how we played it, and that's just working through a producer and getting things down on paper and cutting and trimming the fat and cutting things out that probably weren't worth putting in the song, and really kind of just getting our teeth into it and saying what's good about it, what's bad about it. And it was a song that was like, it's not a throwaway, because I didn't think it's a really good lyrics and stuff, and it's one of my best songs that I feel I've wrote lyrically. But it was just like a one that we were like, oh, we'll just put it out there. And we were like, oh, we were going to record another song, What Daisy Did, but we were just like, oh, we're running out of time. What song do we think needs the least amount of work? Because we thought What Daisy Did would need a lot of work. So we're like, oh, we'll just throw Safety and Skeletons out, because we thought we could just get that done, because there's not much needs to change. And then it turns out a lot needed to change, and we got sucked into this thing. But it's hearing it now, I'm just like, wow. And we thought that was a throwaway, and that's like unbelievable. Like, it's one of the best produced songs we've had, and it will be amazing when that comes out. I can't wait for people to hear it. And that's, for a long time, I didn't know if I would feel like that properly about our releases, but I cannot wait for this song to be heard, because it's more, the reason why is not that I thought the last songs I couldn't wait for people to hear them, but they were in the same vein as the kind of music we heard before. Like, this is different, and I want, and that's why I can't wait for people to hear it, because it is so different that you're gonna go, whoa, that is different, but in a good way, I think.
It'll still definitely have like the Ninebanks vibe, but it's different in that sense. But like, obviously it is, but you can still tell it's us, which is good.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the different where we're like sound like from pop punk to like indie, but it's still got like a bit more of an alternative kind of vibe to it. But like Jack was saying, we had like another song in mind, and hopefully, I mean, at the minute we're only really dropping one song, and we're riding the wave of them, which is cool. But I think we might try and get another one out, because we have found someone we can work with, which is good. But the main thing is we have got songs there, which is sort of half the battle. Like, Jack's got plenty of songs which we can I mean, if we got signed now, we could write 2 albums. If someone just flung loads of money at us and said, "Hey, go into a studio and record it," we would be able to record loads of songs. So I think that's one of the hardest things I find out being in bands from the past, is just when you kind of get writer's block, when you're stuck for ideas. But I think Ninebanks, we have got plenty of ideas there. And obviously the songs, what we've got, they may sound different, but the fact is we have got finished songs there, which I do think's half the battle for most bands.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. Right. Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking to me. And I will see you guys in August, 17th of August.
Big up all the bands tonight in November, Wednesday 7, Red. I kind of pronounce that other band's name. How do you pronounce it?
Redsmith 7.
Redsmith
7. Yeah.
Been checking them out. Obviously, we've played overnight in November before Leeds, and they're awesome dudes. I'm really digging Wednesday 7 stuff as well. So, and obviously that Redsmith 7. So there's the little numbers in there, really. A night in November are letting the bands down with numbers, so they might have to be called a night in November 1.
Night in month 11.
So you've got Ninebanks, Redsmith 7, Wednesday 7, then a night in November. So they're gonna have to add a number on for this gig. Tell them that's what
really,
Ninebanks have requested.
You should be 7 Banks. And
Seven
then
Banks,
and then they can be like a night in the 7th month, and then all 4 of you have got 7 in your name. Then
there you go. And it's a shame you can't change the gig to August the 17th or 7th, and then it would have just been like a pop punk Palooza on the 7th.
Well, it is the 17th, so
true. There you go, then. But yeah, man, we're definitely looking forward to it, man. Dude. It's gonna be
Yeah.
Obviously, we have got other members, but I think it was just us who can make it. But probably it's a bit overcrowded when you've got like 4 or 5 people talking. So you got the best of Ninebanks here, so it's fine.
Sweet. Right. Well, thank you so much. And yeah, I will see you then.
See you
Cool,
later,
man.
Sam, dude.
Great to speak
Appreciate
to
it,
you,
man,
right?
bro.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye, mate.